All right, we're live once again, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow technical artists. Welcome once again, and we are going to be working on the rig builder for our face rig here with Bob, our spinny friend here, uh, our spinny friend here, and he's today happier than ever. Look at him, just in his infinite loop. There he is, buddy. Great to see you here once again. Another day of development, and let's go right into the development with our. Oh, by the way, if you want to participate, please leave a comment, and we will be speaking throughout this development. Today is kind of a cold day here in Vancouver, BC. Not too warm in this end of summer, and we have the code right here. So we have some targets here to reach. I was already checking out what did I need to do today, because as the project progresses, we start to get more and more complexity and different things to manage and to update or to develop basically, and this is what we have right now. So this is a short list. It's not. It haven't started since the beginning of the project, so it doesn't have everything that we did so far, but it does have a little bit of what was done. And today we're going to be working on. This is a secondary topic here to aim for, but the neck module, we need to bind it to the module surface, bind the module surface to the spine, and be able to export the weights. So let's check out Bob here. So what we have is, if we hide the head here, we can see that we have a surface binded to our. Let's even go ahead and just hide this other guy here. So we have our simple skeleton here, joint skeleton, that's mainly aimed or developed to uh, drive the head, the just the neck up basically, and a little bit of the clavicle. And right now we have this neck system here that is under development, and we have the surface that is then binded to the joints of the neck, and the control of the neck is then parented to a follicle on the surface. So the objective of this is that this control here is then controlling all of these guys here, and to do that it is controlling the offset group of these guys. So what happens is then that it is able to control all of them and still stick to the neck here, and we can then rotate all of that joints and still keep. Oh, let me go back here. So basically we can, if the computer allows at this point, kind of tired, I guess, just like me. Just a little secret. Yeah, it's a little frozen here. Let me see. Okay, it's back. So we can spin it, and the control will go with the surface here that is binded to the joints, as you can see, but all of the controls here are being affected by this control, and still you have the option to move individual controllers. So this is a kind of flexible system to some extent, not an amazing system. Say it's a basic system, but for the human neck, without any intentions to have like a stylized animation or anything like that, it is good enough. So basically it is good enough for our purposes. And the jaw is also working fine. It's not also not sophisticated, but it might be something that will be working afterwards. But it is automatically building, and basically that's it. So we have the surface, as I said, being binded to the joints of the neck. So what we need then is to be able to export this weight so that when it builds back, we have the system already parenting this geo to the neck. The difference is it is not the same thing as the model geo, which is the head and the eyelids or anything or all of these other systems. Uh, the model geo needs to be or it can be saved all together. So we can save in the same file in the same JSON file the head, the eyelashes, the eyeballs if they have skin clusters. We can save the teeth, the tongue, because they are going to be imported all at once and we're going to be binding them. But the system modules, such as the neck, if you have a surface for like a ribbon on the tongue, if we have on any other surface for muscle representation, for example, uh, if we save them all together and then at some point I want to update a system, I want to create a new system, it's going to be hard to uh, take if I want to build another rig and not use the same systems, it's going to be hard to take the skin weights to the next project or even to update this project if all of the skin weights of the separate modules are saved into one single file. So I was thinking of how to do this, and I think I got a solution for it. We're going to be then adding then we're going to start to get into more of the abstract part of the explanation. We have the classes here. So let's just jump right into it. It's about 6 minutes already, and I'm just talking about what's going on here. So I don't remember watching many videos with 6 minutes just of explanations. And what the thing is, so we have the post build utils, and this is our build module, and we have the registered functions here. So what I'm gonna start by then just adding here the a dictionary for our new skin cluster. So I'm just gonna call this system mesh list. System mesh weight. No, I think of the name. The thing is, what I want is to all of the systems uh, of the rig. Say for example the neck. Then on the neck, what I can do is create a new key and add whatever surface this system has. So what the system is going to do then is it is going to export one file for each key that it's saved. This way it's quite flexible and we can separate these surfaces as we go. And also because another problem that I was having to on how to solve this problem was how if the systems are producing this geometry, sometimes they're producing it uh, on a dynamic way, meaning they, for example, the neck, it is taking the positions of the joints of the neck and then building a curve, duplicating this curve, giving it some space, and then lofting a surface. So different from the geometry, we cannot know prior to the creation of the mesh that the mesh exists, or we can, but we cannot just declare this prior. This surface is being declared on the process of the build. So this way, by having a dictionary that we can add this as they are created, then at the end of the script we can just have this information available so that we can have the export function. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know. It's a little bit abstract. If you have experience, you're going to understand. If not, I hope you're understanding it as well. So system. Just think of the name of this. Yeah, system mesh. I think it's gonna be system mesh weights dict. And if I think about something better, weight dict, weight dict. I'm just thinking of the order of the words. And yeah, so once we have this dictionary declared, we can come here, for example, we're just starting back on this thing, so it's kind of a little bit slow right now. So let's go into our neck module. This is our neck system here. And it doesn't have many processes. It could be set in different. I could isolate this, and actually, ideally, I would isolate this into its own class or something like that, or function. But you can see that I'm actually querying information about the system, so this is good that I did control. Yeah, I'm just adding the control. So here I'm getting the controls. Yeah, I'm thinking about how to clean this because you can see that this is a quite static function. It could be done as a separate out of the class function, but you know it's a matter at this point is a matter of optimization, not necessarily a necessity. So what I want to do then is to have at the end. So as you can see here, we have the surface being created at some point. So add extra offset groups, create surface from positions. Okay, so module surface, that's all we get here. And this is the module surface shape, which is being used to create the follicle. And that's okay. So what I need then, yeah, I also need to group this. Uh, yeah, okay. So yeah, also our next system. So this is something that I need to add to the list as well. Uh, neck module, and then what I'm going to do is add system nodes to rig group. This is an important part as well that needs to be solved before we move on. And yeah, we leave our skeleton here open because I like to see it as we go. All right, so then let them just read the tasks that we have. So we have to, yeah, this is something that we can do later. So we need to bind the neck and export the weights, add the system nodes into a group, add import export to action stack. Yeah, that's what we're working on. Add negate group to neck control. That's going to happen as well. And transfer skin cluster tools to the post build, which is going to happen at the end of the stream, probably if we have enough time. And let's go. So right now, what I want to do is simple. I want to add the, uh, so we have only one control on this system so far. So it's not really I'm thinking now whether I should use the objects or if I should use, I think I'm gonna go with the objects just because I have more options. Oh no, I'm confused here. No, sorry, that has nothing to do with the object. So let me just type this in. So it's going to be system mesh with dict dot update, and here we're gonna go with Mac module, and then we're gonna have to add the surface, the module surface. And that should be it. Actually, it's actually that simple. To store module surfaces, store module surface on class dict. All right, so that's done then. Basically, that's what we are going to need basically for. Uh, yeah, this is the first module that will be taking advantage of that. So after that, we're going to be able to do this for mostly all of the modules. So there's two functions here. They are static actually. They wouldn't actually need to be inside of the function, inside of the class. I don't see any self here. So this could easily be done in outside export system waits, and yeah, that would be basically that. So I can use this guy here. uh, Transferring stuff, it's always a pain because I don't want to break anything. But let's start transferring. There's no other way. I'll just do it. This is the post build utils. I know I have already transferred a version of the OM export model weight geo. So oh, and here's why it is. I was searching for this. Okay. So it is working, but let me check why then it is. Model geo group. This is okay. Yeah, so I was breaking my head the other day trying to figure out why this little guy was not helping me, and it was being overridden at the end of the code. So basically what's going on is I'm transferring the export weights. Let me do a double to check what are the differences here. uh, so the geo group, we have that here. This is an advantage now, we already have it. All children, list relatives, geo group, that's correct. And then we have the geometry list, OM export skin weights. The difference here is that I am just exporting the geometries that actually have a skin cluster on it, and that's what I want to do here as well. So yeah, I think it's all good. We should have everything in place for this particular guy here. I'm going to keep a copy just in case. control shapes. This is all good. Okay, so let's bring down the next one then. I also need to bring down this guys here. So all of the OM export skin weights tool. Well, this is all going down. Skin tools, pre-build skin, pre-build utils. This is all going to be going down. So let's go. It's going to be better. It's going to be better for us. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's going to be better. So here we are. Pasting all of these guys here. That nothing really changes because the functions are on the top class, so it's being inherited. So that's why it's not crashing. It has this functions on the top. So this is going to be then on the post build utils instead. Okay, so let's keep going. So these are the guys that we do. Am I ever going to be using this? Yeah. So what I'm thinking is this functions, but this it comes down to that again. Like, should this function be outside of the function because my baby's my baby's nanny just sent me some pictures from today. Gotta check it. I have to check it out. So yeah, let's transfer just these two guys here because I'm feeling that we might be able to use this. Let's go with this guys here. Oh, this guy here for sure. Okay, so here we are. Template geo system and rename. That's all that we're going to be needing for now. That's great. So this is on the right place now, and we have access to a bunch of other stuff here. I have access to more information because we are on the correct place for this. Geo group, template geometry, correct. Right, so that should give us the desired outcome here. The same thing happens again here. So I'm just copying a part of the function here that it's going to check. In geolist. Okay, so this is just a check. This is no longer hard coded. I mean, it's not perfect as I said before, but that's what it is right now. Move to post build. Yes, I'm doing it right now. I don't need this note anymore. And now we can export the system weights. So for the system weights, then going to be slightly different, but let me copy this and then I'll think of how to. This could be easily variable, or like it could be set outside, just having a few variables change. This might be something that I'll optimize in the future, but right now it is what it is. Okay, so let's go. So the file name is then going to be defined by a different set of variables. So first of all, I'm going to have to go through a loop here. All right, and say for module and self dot system dict file name then is a different thing. So it's something like this case is module. So wait, that's simple. Okay. So module awaits dot format, and then it's going to be module. That's the file name. We don't need this guys here. Nor this guy. I need the geometry list. That's then easy. Self.system mesh dict module. That's it. That's simple. It's great. If I'm not using the file name, why am I declaring it though? Oh, if this is the file path, this is the skin geolist, the file name. Great. I think we got it. And then now actually what the next thing is then to import this guy. So it's going to create a different file for each module. That's all good. It's good and bad because we don't have a way to isolate the modules. But anyway, so we are already being able to export the skin cluster from a module like a surface like this one, which is a module surface. It is not a model surface. There's a slight difference there, which I've spoke about in the beginning of the stream. But now the next thing is being able to import it because we have the import skin clusters here. And I have a skin manager. This is not being used. I'm tripping here. So this is the import model geoskin weights, import template geoskin weights, and I also need the same thing basically for the import system skin weights, and that should bring us back the. So this obviously, as we can see here, quite repetitive. So later on with optimization, I can handle this. And we have now basically that's it. It's really good. That's it. I think I can rebuild now. Let me add a comment here. Export all skin weights for meshes added to self dot system mesh weights predict. Great, so that's done. All right, let's test that. All right, so oh, nice. So now we have the control tools and the skin tools here, which is really cool for me. I think it's a really cool site, well organized, and we have export system weights here, really good. Pre-build is actually a little disorganized. So let's just build this guy and see what happens. Okay, so I should be finishing the build soon. Let me get some music going on here before I succumb. All right, there you go. So the same system is being built properly. The mesh is here, but as of right now, it has no skin clusters to it. That was expected. So what we're gonna do then is just grab the joints and grab our surface here and go the form skin, bind skin. Let me see if it's binding to a joint hierarchy. There it is. And now we can close this. We have the skin cluster on the mesh. And we should be able to do rename all skin cluster nodes, and that will rename our nice. Oh my god, it's so good when things work. So neck module system surface skin cluster. Great. And we should be then able to export system weights. And it crashed. All right, so why then? No object matches name and what have I done? See, it's happiness and sadness in the same minute. Let's close. So it is complaining that it's probably on the creation here. Which function? So I don't know if this guy here works for surfaces. Let me check that. Port now Maya dot now now, and then this is going to be the name of the surface NAC module. Um, Surface. Yeah, it results on the correct thing, so that's good. We're gonna get there. Import system, export system skin cluster. skin weights. Then we are with the file name here, the geometry list, the module. I know what it is, the problem. Okay, pretty simple actually. So this thing here needs to be a list. I think that's it. Let's run it back again. All right, so if it all works out now, we might have our skin cluster soon. Skin, bind skin, we have the skin cluster. Now if I grab this, I can do skin tools, rename, and then we can do export system weights. Wow, almost there. So it's not the same. I don't think I have one extra thing declared here. Okay. Why would I name it like this though? That's nuts. So skin clusters root model template, and then the last one is different. Here we go. Hopefully one last time. Oh, I'm sure it's not gonna be the last time though, but I'm feeling like this time it's going to be working. So we're gonna rebuild this rig right now, and the skin cluster or the neck surface is going to be, we're gonna be able to bind it, change the name of the skin cluster with the rig builder, export the skin cluster and import it, and it's going to work now. I have the feeling this is what's going to be happening right away. So we have the surface here. We're gonna grab the skeleton. We're gonna go and bind these guys. We're gonna then get the skin cluster. Then we come here into our tools. We rename the skin cluster. Skin cluster is now renamed, and we export system weights, and we got it. All right. So what it means is just that. So the surface is moving with the neck, as you can see. That's what we wanted, because this is what's dragging our neck control. Now, the next question is, will it rebuild? Let's see. All right, so it's rebuilding pretty fast. That's great. Nope. Okay, so am I missing something here? So first of all, let me check if the file is in the folder. Boom, it is here. So 100% sure it is. Huh. Oh no, it has values to it. Yeah, it's all good. So it's working as expected. So the problem is on the import then. Oh yeah, I know what it did. Silly me. Port. Awesome. So now it's 100%. System is here. And as a matter of fact, if I zero this out, I'm sure I'm going to be able to check it right away. Bam. Nice. Got it, team. So now it's 100% working. Cool. This is awesome. Great. So this is going to be a piece of cake from now on. Awesome. Oh my God, it's great. So the system, so we have now the ability to export the skin weights for the system as well. So not only the model geo is going to be exported or imported, now all the system is working. It's coming 100% from the build. So if we rebuild this now, the surface that is on the neck driving the control is going to come back binded already, and we have the ability to, for all the systems, bring back the skin weights, and so basically the system is able to rebuild everything. And we can, let's check if that's reality. So it's just rebuild, right? And the skin cluster is coming from the surface, for the surface as well. So we can see that, okay, so this, oh, and this thing here is absolutely not correct, right? Interesting though. Interesting to see that why we cannot move the neck below the C7 as well. But yeah, the system works, so we have the ability to control the entire system or the individual joints, and that's the whole purpose of the system. And you can see that the control is affected by that movement because it is on a follicle on this surface that is binded to the spine. So yeah, next, let's see what's next on the list here. Where's my list? Uh, Here we go. So Binac module, add system modules to group. Now import skin weights from action stack to action stack. So we should then be we could we can be adding a negate group to this guy here. Let me see. I think I have this somewhere else. This is an old system that I had, like an old function that I had to create controls. Let me see if I have the negate group here. No, I don't think so. I think it was on the magic ribbon. Magic ribbon. Okay. Create FK system. Should be a function. Here we go. Build control. Offset. Connect. And so this is the sort of the negate group. I'm calling it static here, but spaced. This is it here. So creates the offset group, fine. Creates a multiply divide node, connect the attributes, translate. But in this case, it cannot be only the translate gotta be the rotate as well. And then it's going to connect it to the output translate of the offset group. Great. And then it's going to multiply by -1. Set attribute input XYZ. This could also be written in a different way. Okay, I'm using this. So it may or may not be that this is going to be a good addition. We're gonna test it and let's see. Maybe it just adds complexity or and it's kind of unnecessary. But let's just give the ability to the control system to build this. You can see that I have quite a few things open here. Just gonna close this name convention, node attribute manager, vertex catalog logic, face rig, fine. And what I need is the control system here. So the camera is in front of the, it is here. I know, I'm feeling it. Control, here we go. It's already open, great. So I have already the add offset group. So what I need then is a new function here saying define add offset negate group. And then that's going to be, it's the name of the group. I'm defining it, transform. Should have some sort of indication that it's going to be a negate group. I don't want to add a flag here. Um, yeah, I might just add a flag here, but let's write this first. Let's even write this right now. So let's paste the thing. And I don't need the offset group. Shading node. This is not shading node. Let's just create node. It's a bunch of stuff that I did in the past, so it's a little different. Multiply, divide. Okay, I don't need this. Then it's going to be the divide node. I already know what it's about. And then divide here. What is the C1 though? What's the C1 about? C1, check the, see, this is how your mind changes. This is what I was, so it's a curve. Basically just the control. So let's check then. I don't need to substitute, well, I do need a control. So what's going to be the transform? Okay, so it's going to be self dot transform. So that's it. It's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And then the connect, we need to define node. I could have done this in a bulk, but I guess I just didn't. So this also actually can be removed. I can just have this and do -1, -1, -1. A few things that you learn that I've learned recently. Insert is open. So the offset group then would be the new group. No. What? This one. All right, so this is correct. I think it should work then. So what I can do is do a negate equals false. Oh. And then I'm just gonna add this gate here. So if negate, then it's going to add this negate characteristic to the group. Awesome. Sounds like we have it. All right, so let's just then add this negate group and see what happens. So on the NAC, then the NAC module is being built here. So where's the control? I am doing the control. Create, connect attribute. NAC control. Control object. NAC control is being created here. The offset group is being created here. Control parent constraint. That is being here. So then what I need that here is just like main NAC control dot add another offset group, and then the gate will be on this time. Nice. Let's see. Okay, so let's test that. Cool. Expected indent. Oh man, I hate this. It's like an error that it doesn't tell you what broke. So we just added one single thing. The main control. I haven't changed anything here. Control set color. Control name. Oh no. Okay, let me see if I have more information then. Expected an indent block. What? It's not. Ah, my man. An indent block. Oh, here we go. So you see, this is terrible. I forgot one function here open, and it is crashing on the rig manager, which is not even the fun. This is awful. I think that this is a thing that has been fixed on the new Python, which is great because look, if I didn't remember this, how long could you waste? How much time could you waste just searching for something that's been not being even declared? How's it going, Bob? How are you today? Me and you here, man, developing this thing. And did you count how many times have you spent so far? Do you have any idea? Like a million times. let's see. Let's see how many you will spin. All right. So we rebuild it, and so what should have happened then is we have a oh so hmm. Yeah, it is working. Great. So we have the negate group here. So it's a third offset group. This guy and the translations this are connected. Yeah, though the thing that I need is actually it's not the translate. It is a rotate negate. So that needs to be also added here. How can I do it though? Do I need another multiply divide? So yeah, the thing is with the negate, what the negate group is does is we have. So I have my Photoshop open. Yeah. So the negate group is basically, let's say you have the control here. Let's see what color. Okay. So you have the control, and then you have a group on top of it, and then you have another group on top of it. This is the negate group. So say then that this control spins to this side. This group here is going to negate, that's what the name says, is going to spin in the same exact angle to the other side. So this what this will cause is this uh, what this system will cause is for to this control not to move at all, even though you are actually changing the rotation on the control. One, as you move it to one direction, the group changes to the other direction, and so it looks like it is in the exact same place. Why do you need this? Because we're getting double transformations on the neck control. It's very light because it's not a system that is rotating too much, but because it is parented to a follicle on a surface, as the surface spins, it also rotates the control. And we are also adding rotation to the control itself. So what it means is that it is double transforming, right? It's rotating times two because we are rotating the control and the surface is rotating. So this is kind of like it's not really controlled. Is it necessary to have this system? Maybe it's questionable. In this case, it is questionable because it's not a gigantic double transform, and the neck is not going to be going like too much further than this. It's more visible maybe when we are doing something like this, where you can see that it's really up. It probably should be like around here. But as I said, it's questionable. Maybe I'll even do this and then return it, but I just want to have this option available because this might happen again in other situations. So let's just then add a different name for this multiply divide. So it's going to be like a name, and then this is going to be the name of the control, and to be multiply divide. Oh God. Multiply divide node dot format. Let me open this a little bit more. Dot format, and then we're gonna have the self dot or it's the control name here, self dot transform. Okay, so this is this is the translation though. Translation negate. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not necessary to be this long, but you know, it's better to be very descriptive than be trying to figure out trying to figure it out later. So it's going to be the translation divide node, and there we go. So this is going to be the rotate. So I hope that it works the same way with rotation. I don't remember exactly. Let's see. Because the thing with angles, I don't know if we can just multiply it by -1, but let's check. Right, so rotate, divide node, and then it's not the new group, or it is the new group, but let's rotate. Then the rotate, then the connects the rotate, divide node, new group, translate. Now it's the rotate. Oh, let's see. Maybe we got it. So once again, we're going to be rebuilding the rig. Hopefully no surprises. Oh, it broke. I forgot to change the name of the node here. Let's go again. Yeah. So this is a good day today. Kind of making progress and close to the weekend, almost Friday. Or actually, yeah, 15 minutes of Friday. Happy Friday, world. All right, so let's see what we have here. Boom, both rotate and the translation are negated. So it so happens. So as you can see, it's a lot tighter on the neck now. I'm sure it's working because it's not double transforming at all. Nice. Yeah, so again, is it necessary? I'm not sure, but like it's a simple aesthetical issue, but it is something that it is available right now for us in the future. So you can see here minus 27.391 on the Negate group, and here is probably going to be plus 27.391. So this is what it does. It is as I'm saying repeatedly, it is negating the movement of the control. So basically, it is not moving, it is just taking the movement off the surface on the neck. You can see it here. So now it is just rotating the same amount as the surface. Cool. Got it. Done. Next. So transfer skin weights to skin cluster tools to post build. That's done as well. Wow. Look at us. So add system nodes to regroup. Yeah, that's necessary as well. So this next system, which is I can call it you know what? There's another thing that needs to go into this neck module, which is add scale constraint. Constraint. Because right now it is not scaling with the rig, right? So if we, I believe, if we scale this right now, what's going to happen is the whole rig is scaling properly. So if we go into our, let's just turn on this. And where's the model geo? Let's bring back the head just so that we can see. So right now, if we scale, the rig is scaling, but as you can see here, the control is just floating there on that gigantic size. So my best guess here, my best guess would be to scale, either scale the group. I may scale the follicle to the main to the global control here, or to the root. Probably to the root. I have tested this before, so I know it works. But let's just, oh, scale 0, never good. So I know that, so let's just check it. I don't know if I should have the control group scaled. Is it gonna make any difference? Yeah, I think that the whole control, because otherwise it's just gonna be, yeah, the group is going to be completely off scale, so that's not good as well. So what I'll do is I think I'll try to go with this guy and then just do a constraint, scale constraint. Do I need to maintain offset? I don't think so because both one. So I can constrain and then, yeah, I think that's actually just that. I don't need to do much more. Although the follicle also needs to be constrained. So let me do that. Is it not any other occasion where this would be a reality? Yeah, so the control you'll see now it is scaling properly. It is not parented into the same chain as the standard, like the base controls, but you can see that it works, right? We can scale the rig properly. But the thing is, what we're probably going to be watching right now is that the follicle is not scaling. So you can see that the follicle is big now. So the follicle should be then the one scaled to the, yeah, to the to the global control, and then the control can be scaled with the follicle. Just because I don't know what other situation would we actually be scaling the follicle separately, but I mean, oh, okay, that this 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 is slightly rotated. That's weird. Okay, so this is also something that I probably did wrong then. I have not rotated this correctly, so I'll just correct that. Just like 10 degrees off. Oh no. Okay, I screwed this one up. But let's see if this is not because of the scaling that I did wrong. So we're very close here into a conclusion of the next system. With adding the scale, I would call it a day. Or actually, there's still one extra thing, which is the, so we have the nodes here floating off the group. So that's the last step, just adding it to the, yeah, it's literally off the, so this is actually pretty simple to correct because we have the proper tools now. Awesome. And so I'm gonna do set shape from control set shape form, and it's going to give us the available options here on the list. But I know that it's the crown, so I'm just gonna type crown here, and it's going to reset it. Whole, no, it's correct. It's correct. It's fine. So then you can just rotate it and scale it. It should be perfectly aligned. Well, it's weird. Why is it slightly rotated? I think it's because of the orientation of the root joint. Okay, so this is another issue then. Let me turn on the LRA. Yeah, as I expected, the root joint is slightly twisted. Yeah, but because the it is pointing into the top there, and the top is slightly off center. So actually, the orientation is correct, but the so that's not a problem. It's not a pro. It's not an issue per se. And this joint is not really like it's not really rotating, so we don't actually need it to be in that orientation. I can fix that soon, but we know that this is not a problem. So this is something that I need to add to the list. Okay, so re reorient root joint to world 0. Okay, so I might be able to understand that. And that would automatically fix the issue here. So, okay, let's focus on that issue then of constraining the control. So I will constrain the follicle. Let me find the follicle here. So we are creating the follicle here, and the follicle data then I need to check what is the follicle data. It's just the follicle. So this is actually a wrong naming for this. This is the follicle transform. So a more precise naming for this. And I'm also then going to be uh, 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 yeah, it's the name of the control. So I'm going to parent it to the root control. So it's going to be, here's where the control is created. I'm going to parent this follicle here then. So it means mc dot scale constraint. And then it's going to be the root control, but yeah, I'm just thinking here about the way that I'm storing this because yeah, this is not it's not an excellent way to store it because when I'm creating it, I am actually storing the name of the control, so then it's kind of hard coded. That's going to create us problems in the future. But then I'll have to restructure a bunch of things. But this is a problem already because if I'm going to change, so man, if you're listening to this for the first time, it's a lot. It's kind of a lot of information. So and it's too abstract. So, but anyways, let's go with what I know right now. So it's going to be root control. So this is, ideally it would be like control self.system control list index 0. Then we would return the root control. That would then be always the root control. This way, if I need to change the actual naming convention or anything like that, which I think it's going to happen because it cannot be like root control. I'm probably going to change it soon. But then I'm depending, like I'm putting this information hard coded here. It's gonna cause me to have to run the script, check what breaks, come back, and that's not no bueno. So it's the scale and then the follicle. For now, it's going to be that. And FLC transform, it already annoys me that I'm actually shortening this name. It's follicle. I'm kind of traumatized lately because I've been dealing with scripting professionally and reading other people's scripts, and it is very frustrating when it cannot understand the code or when you have just information being added in a way that's going to cause us problems or anything like that. Or when the code is like super entangled. So I'm trying to do the best I can to not fall into the situation myself. So the follicle is going to be good here. And then I can, so the control is being created here. And then we have two offset groups here. And then we have the offset group here that's being parent constrained to the follicle. And then we can do Also MC dot parent constrain, scale constrain, and we can do follicle transform, and this one can then be, sorry, no, it's correct. And then control offset group. Boom. So then when we rebuild, we should get the expected behavior. If anything crashes, of course, which is 90% of the cases. But look at that. Maybe it's not going to crash. But it was such a simple implementation, though, that boom, got it. Let's see if it's going to work. Hooray! It works. Oh, it lives on its own universe here, but it works. So it's negating as we asked it to do, and it's also scaling. So this takes us to a very good position here. Now, my next question is, how am I going to be, or where am I going to be adding this control? And I don't know if I should be adding it to the control group. Because if I start to split, you know what? I'm going to group this thing and parent it all together into module group. Because it is a specific module, and I don't know if I see the point of having it all inside of like a control group, because what's going to happen then is this is going to be separated from the other pieces of the system, and it's just going to be a nightmare. It's not going to be a nightmare, but it's just not going to be, you know, well organized in my mind. Let's just do that for now, and we'll think about it later. So it's going to be so simple though. I need so the first step is to group this as a module. So I'm going to do mc dot group. Group. I think I can do this in one single stroke here. So it's going to be group, and then it's going to be the surface, the follicle, and the group, the offset group. So the surface then is surface, so module surface, follicle transform, and the the group. So it is the control offset group. And then I can do parent. So I learned this recently. Parent, and we can do self dot control object dict, no group hierarchy dict. I believe that's it. And I can call control group. And to keep this organized, I will also indent it. And if it works, it should be grouping the stuff and already parenting it to the parent group. So we should see those nodes gone. Oh, one thing that I did wrong also is I didn't name the group, so that's a problem. Okay, cool. Bam, all works. Oh, but I parented it to the control group. So two things are wrong. It's correct, but I did two things wrong here. I think it's module group, should be. So module group, and also then need the name, and the name should be the name should then be Mac module group. Pretty simple. So if we rebuild it right now, we should get these modifications and it should be parented to the correct place. It's almost like a temporary thing. It although, oh man, okay, yeah, there's no module group on the keys. Cool. That's just a step to go. Just a module. My mistake. Okay, no big deal. So now when we rebuild, we should be getting that thing. Nice. Let's see. Nice. Everything here. Module group is here. And the next stuff is inside of it. Great. So it's all done for now. We have a system that is scalable. And we are now able to move the neck control properly. It is negating the movement of the rotation that I'm applying to it. And that is that. Let me see what the tasks are saying here. Add system nodes to regroup. That's good. Add scale constraint. It's good. And boom, we got it. It's actually disappearing. No. Yeah. Good. Great, actually. And I think we're done with the neck module. All right. As I say on the streams usually, and we have a comment from a bot on Twitch. Nice, thanks, bot. And yeah, it's always about the small achievements because every time it's such a every day is we are now on the 26th. Yeah, on the we have been doing this for 26 times already, and it's this small achievements every time. So we got the neck module done. That's great. We're able to move on, and this is automated. It certainly will need to be revisited in the future, just because of this hard-coded parts here that I'm not really happy about. But it is working, and we're able to optimize it instead of building it. And yeah, pop the champagne. Yay! Bam, 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 bam. Okay, so let me just check if yeah, this is this root control here. It's the only thing that module surface. Yeah, that's the only thing that I don't really like here. Really, the root control. Yeah, actually this as well because I have the joint names here. It's oh boy. But how right? How would I this is something that I'll have to grab someone from work and ask maybe. How can I get this to be variable and independent from Anyways, it works now, and we can move on. So let me add this to future improvements. Create a part here. Future improvements. And that's going to be like a what color? Let's see. What do we have available here? Let's go with the red. So neck module. Remove hard coded references to joints and controls. Yeah, just so that we can keep track of what needs to be better structured. So also I can remove the color from these guys here because they're done. So then we have like add top group visibility, no visibility attributes. We have the RigBuilder UI that we can improve. We have change top group name, create the jaw module. Yeah, that's one. Although, like now the next thing is I'm pondering if I'm going to jump right into the blunt shapes right now, or if I'm going to, because even the jaw here, the jaw has a simple system right now. It is just like, we can do stuff like this, but it's very, very simple. There's nothing to it. It could be automatic that we could have like it going. I think it's like the fact shapes are jaw drop, which is like this, and then jaw wide, which is then when it goes wide, it also moves forward because of the bones. And actually, we can observe this on this rig because we have the actual bone. So what happens on the human jaw is you can drop it more or less like to this point without moving the pivot of the joint. But then when you move it down, it also moves forward. And it likely moves a little bit down as well because otherwise it's going to crash on the it's going to crash into the skull, so that's not possible, right? So this is more or less what happens, and then what we get is let me bring back the head here. And this is how it should be kind of, well, this is obviously exaggerated, and the skinning is not the ultimate skinning right now, but you get the point, right? So if we can actually compare it to the jaw drop of the, what we can do, I think that we can just turn off the skin cluster. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so let's turn off the skin cluster, and let's bring in the blend shape. So we have a function here to bring in the blend shapes. So it's add blend shape targets. It's going to add them. I think it's done. Or no, it's working. Boom, added. Now I can connect the controls. Boom. Okay, so now it's being driven by this guy here. And we can check then mouth open wide. My mouth. Mile. So we're not going to be able to evaluate exactly the, but at least we can have a kind of an idea here. because he's like actually pulling up the corner of the mouth as well. But we can compare then like the skin cluster to, yeah, it's hard to compare. But like there's no, if you open the mouth, the skin is kind of pushed inwards when you open, and the skin cluster doesn't do that. So this is where I think that the blend shapes will be superior. So will I use pure blend shape for this? That's the question, because then a lot changes. But this is a question for the next stream, guys, because it is what, 12:13. By the way, happy Friday for you, whatever you are in the world. Bob, my friend, happy Friday, man. Happy Friday for you, and I hope we can meet tomorrow again, or maybe somewhere on the weekend. But yeah, for you out there in the world, you have a very good Friday for yourself, and a weekend if we don't see each other tomorrow. Or, anyways, I hope that we all have some fun, some rest, and that we can absorb this knowledge and be better prepared for the future. Maybe, maybe. Unless the apocalypse comes along, and then there's no preparing, baby. All right, so you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see each other soon. Bye bye.